Joao Felix sets a new European record. Arsenal will miss Aaron Ramsey. 2 leagues in Europe could be done and dusted this weekend. We've got a roundup of all the day's transfer rumours, and of course, we have today's Friday feels. Now, more coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, to last night's Europa League action, where at the age of 19 years and 152 days, Benfica João Felix set the record for the youngest ever player to score a hat-trick in the Europa League. He helped his side to a 4-2 victory over Eintracht Frankfurt and put them on course to reach the semi-finals of the competition. However, in the second leg, things may not be so easy. Of all the teams that have gone to Frankfurt this season, none of them have conceded less than 2 goals, and a 2-0 victory is exactly what will take the Germans through to the next round. As for Joao Felix, well, this has probably only added a few more million onto his already ridiculous price tag. Earlier in the season, it was said that Manchester United bid around 65 million for him, someone dubbed the next Cristiano Ronaldo coming out of Portugal. This hat-trick will only further raise his status, and come the summer, Benfica could be getting a lot of money for such a precocious talent. Elsewhere in the Europa League, Chelsea managed to get away from Prague with a 1-0 victory thanks to a Marcus Alonso header, and as for Arsenal, well, they put in a spectacular performance to beat Napoli 2-0. Now, I did mention before that this has more of a Champions League feel tied to it. I was excited about seeing Koulibaly, someone who so much has been talked about, and also how would Arsenal cope when there's so much pressure on to go and win the game before the second leg next week. To be honest, I thought they could have won by more. They had some ridiculously good chances, and it still begs the question now, why on earth are they letting Aaron Ramsey go? The Welsh midfielder, of course, will sign a pre-contract agreement with Juventus, and so will be leaving the Emirates after almost 11 years at the club. I just don't get it. He was brilliant last night, he can take the ball forward well, he links up the play, and his goal was taken excellently well. A proper Arsenal move. Why are you letting him go? Arsenal fans, let me know in the comments section whether or not you'll be better off with or without him, and who you'd like to bring in to replace Ramsey. Despite this 2-0 loss though, Carlo Ancelotti, the Napoli manager, said that he is confident that his side can reach the semi-final. Of course, going to Napoli is never an easy task, and he still feels that in the home leg they could do their best to upset Unai Emery's men. And speaking of Unai Emery, he did admit that the game was still 50-50. This doesn't exactly breathe the most confidence into the Arsenal team. If you've put in a fantastic performance, won 2-0 at home to someone like Napoli, and then your manager says that it's still kind of 50-50, I think the Arsenal players will want a little bit more trust in them than that. However, the game is finally balanced for next week's return leg. And moving away from the Europa League and to some, well, pretty much obvious news. It's been coming for a while, but there are 2 leagues this weekend out of Europe's top 5 that could be done and dusted. Both PSG and Juventus could be lifting the Ligue and Serie A titles respectively if they manage to do what they've been doing all season, which is win. Actually, as for PSG, they don't even need to win because they are away to second place Lille. All they need is a point, whereas Juventus can go to Spal, pick up all 3 and then lift the title for themselves. Both teams are a ridiculous 20 points ahead with only 21 to play. What do you guys make of this? Is it getting really boring that the same teams are winning every year? And do you rather focus on the race for the Champions League, where there's some pretty interesting games coming up in the next few weeks? Maybe, just maybe, a European Super League actually wouldn't be that bad. Just think about it. If you got rid of all the amazing teams from each league, you'd probably have a more fair playing field, and it would make things more exciting week in, week out. Of course, that's just me being a little bit negative because I don't support those massive teams. But you guys, let me know what you think. Okay, and moving on to a roundup of the day's transfer news and other news. And first off, Everton manager Marcus Silva said that he wants to bring in Andre Gomes and Kurt Zouma to Everton on a permanent basis, as both of them are on loan at the moment. Elsewhere, in Real Madrid said that they want around £112 million for Gareth Bale. This I just do not get. How can you charge so much money, way more than what you bought him for someone who's always injured and is going to cost a ridiculous amount in wages as well, and he's almost 30 years old? I'd be amazed if they get anything over 60 for him. Elsewhere, Arsenal are set to make a bid for PSG's Christopher Nkunku, who has rejected a new deal in France. And lastly but not least, there was a fight at Bayern Munich's training ground between Robert Lewandowski and Kingsley Coman, although both of them did finish the session and there has been no fallout from it. Both players are vital to Bayern Munich. Lewandowski's on fire form at the moment, and Kingsley Coman could be the big star of the future, especially once Robben and Ribery leave. So lastly but not least, we come to today's Friday feels. For those of you who are new around here, this is where you guys get to have your say and leave your predictions on the weekend's football in the comments section below. It can be anything from a team, a manager, a goal, an offside, a red card, whatever you guys think, from whichever league, and I'll be calling out some of the ones that you got correct on Monday's Daily News. But for me this weekend, well, there's not exactly a huge amount of crazy games, but the 1 or 2 massive ones I'm going to predict are Liverpool against Chelsea. Will they slip up again like they did 5 years ago? Well, Steven Gerrard isn't in the team, and I actually think Liverpool won't. I think they're going to win 2-1 against Chelsea and strengthen their grip on the title. Elsewhere, and in Serie A, in the race for 4th, AC Milan currently in 4th, and Lazio a few points behind in 7th, face off against each other. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to AC Milan, with Piontek getting both of the goals, of course, because he just cannot stop scoring. Of course, you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section on the Friday feels and all the transfer news, and what you think is going to happen in the return leg of next week's Europa League ties. Arsenal fans, how are you going to deal without Aaron Ramsey? Whilst you're down there, you can also smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys later.